G'day everyone, Oz Art Creations here. This is our second time round trying to get this starship up and running and exploding for us. Looks like a beautiful morning out there wherever they are. Tree Goblin is in the house. How's it going, TG? I think all the Americans are still fast asleep and tucked up in their beds after a late night of streaming. I've got a loud household at the moment, but that's okay. It'll all be okay as long as this passengers. That suggestion is purely because I put watch a rocket explode in the title of this. Oh, TG's working. Yeah, well, I mean, what? It's like 8:47 Central in the US. Good morning, US. It is 8:47 a.m. Central Time. We're here watching the Super Heavy rocket get ready to explode. The biggest rocket that man has ever built. The first rocket built by Let me turn the volume down on this baby. Holy crap, SpaceX. No need to drown me out with your SPFX. I think it came out after Empire Strikes Back. Well, Hung and Dung says, I'm sick, so I'm not working. Oh. To be honest, you look pretty sick in that picture there, dude. Hope this exploding rocket helps you feel better. SpaceX, it's on you. Bring us forth the explosion that we require for Well Hung and Dung to feel better. Well, Hung and Dung asks, is it going to land on a remote drone boat or an AI? I don't know what that. Am I breaking up? My internet connection has been so bad. My understanding is the top cool looking part of the spaceship is going to fly around the Earth and then crash into the ocean near some islands. I think maybe it's going to crash into New Zealand. And the other bit is just going to fall back into the ocean, I think. Because they're just expecting it to explode, which is what we're counting on here. Women love me, I'm an asshole. Well, you're definitely British. Do women love assholes? Normally they land on a remote drone boat, don't they? Yeah, there's is there 2 or 3? There's one that says or is it just read the instructions, and the other one is I still love you or something. And they're you just to catch the fairings and the they were testing the rockets landing on one of them as well. I can't remember why they were doing that and why they weren't just landing them on land. There must have been a reason. I haven't seen a drone ship landing in a long time. What else is in my suggested feed here? Might as well go live. Oh, that's EBS. Another SpaceX vid. For some reason I watched that. That's 3 hours long and I've watched an hour of that. I question that. I can't imagine myself sitting there and watching an hour of approach and docking. Docking is super gay. And then what have I watched? I've watched Tuesdays with Cecil, episode 4. I watched the full 3 hours and 6 minutes of that, apparently. And that wasn't the one just recently, which I only saw half of. That was the one the week before. And then we've got a new one with Shane Davis, which they're showing me I haven't watched yet. It's Up Inking. That's after the other stream that he just had, where he was showing the drawing. Didn't he say Yanzi was inking his work? Did I mishear that? Did I mishear that? And the chat here is Slowy Dodo. The music is enhancing. Yeah. Yeah. EBS did a bizarre home movie thing this morning. Oh, look at those rockets. Yeah, I watched a bit of that with his brothers wrestling. And I had to go water the garden. Everyone's been streaming lately. It's been good. I saw a bit of Camus.
Good morning.
Holy
On your
shit,
screen is a
33
live
minutes.
view of Starship as it awaits its second attempt at our first ever
All right.
integrated flight test from Starbase, Texas. If all goes well, we hope to see our Starship spacecraft and Super Heavy booster, which we collectively call Starship, lift off together for the first time in exactly 33 minutes from now. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Kate Tice, Quality Systems Engineering Manager here at SpaceX headquarters in Hawthorne, California.
And I'm Shiva Bharadwaj, a Space Operations Engineer here at SpaceX. Now, if you've been following along, you'll know that we stood down from our initial launch attempt on Monday, and that was due to a frozen pressurization valve.
Why, hello there.
Super Heavy booster.
SpaceX teams investigated
I need to study the rocket on your shirt.
This valve had some moisture in it, which caused the valve to freeze up when we were loading super chilled liquid oxygen into the
Super
booster.
chilled.
Now, these valves are super important because
Super
we
important.
actually need a pressurant to go back into the tank as we consume propellant, and we actually use a pressurant from
Look
that
how
comes
big this
from
thing
the
is.
Raptor engines.
That's what she said.
It's heated
This is
down
a
there and then put back
BBC
in the
with
tank.
a bit of a
So first valve
white
there would be in a proper bearing to
base.
launch.
It's like a
Yeah,
white
and
base
that's
with a black
important. You
knob.
can think of it like drinking out of a thin plastic.
It's been so
water
long
bottle.
since
If
a
you're
spaceship
chugging hot
hasn't
water,
looked
it
like a
crinkles if
dong.
you don't let air back into
great.
it. So we use that hot exhaust gas from the Raptor engines to refill that consumed volume as propellant is depleted. So it
Where are
was
we in the
a
US
great
here?
find by the countdown, and that's why we have a countdown, is to allow us to find those issues prior to liftoff. So all of that being said, our teams learned a lot over the last 48 hours, and we are ready to give it another go. As many of you know, Starship is the latest and largest vehicle developed to date by SpaceX. It will be the world's most powerful launch vehicle once fully developed and have twice the thrust of the Saturn V rocket.
Twice the
But the key
thrust.
breakthrough with Starship is that it will be fully reusable and capable of carrying up to 150
Falcon 9 is only partially reusable. We recover, but we don't recover the second stage. And Falcon 9's heaviest payload to date is just over 17 metric tons. So 150 to 250 metric tons on Starship is an order of magnitude greater in terms of the payload capacity.
We can't
Now,
withstand
these
firepower of
seem to
this
be the first
magnitude.
of many as we work towards transitioning Starship from a developmental into an operational program. And the primary objective today is to gather as much data as we can around the fully integrated vehicle.
Wrong.
Now, while we have flown the Starship
It's to
spacecraft in the
explode.
past, it is going to be the first attempt of Super Heavy and the first opportunity for us to validate how the two vehicles operate together.
We are so excited for this. The purposes for today's flight, we will consider any data received that helps inform and improve future builds of Starship as a success. From a milestone standpoint,
They're
our
really
main goal
building up
is
to this
to
thing
clear the
exploding.
pad. Every milestone beyond that is a bonus. The further we fly, the more
If
data we
it
can
starts,
collect.
it is
Now,
a
if it
success
does
for us.
all go well, then we'll expect the
Ooh.
Super Heavy to light up its 33 Raptor engines at the base of the vehicle and the
Raptor
liftoff clear the
engines.
pad away down from in Starbase,
Starbase.
Texas. And then it'll
Oh,
go into
Texas.
ascent. About 3 minutes into its ascent, we're going to expect to see Super Heavy separate from the Starship. It'll perform a flip maneuver, and then it'll execute a boost back burn, and we're going to be targeting a hard landing in the Gulf of Mexico.
And while that's happening, we hope to see Starship's 6 second stage engines ignite and watch as Starship coasts for about an hour at altitudes ranging between 150 and 250 kilometers before re-entering Earth's atmosphere and make its own hard landing in the
destroying
Pacific Ocean about
New Zealand.
250-ish
Boom.
kilometers off. Are not expecting many camera views after separation.
All the Marines cried out at once.
But we do promise that whatever views we do have, we will bring them to you live.
Yep, we have a couple of ground stations along the way, so if we are able to get good telemetry, assuming we make it that far into the ascent, then of course those will be available on the stream. And also,
YTT
the whole
was the last
getting the
scene
vehicle off the pad is a complex
screaming at the
endeavor. We
fireball
are
coming down from
going
the
to be trying
skies.
to reduce complexity by having those hard water landings instead of trying a normal landing like you're used to on Falcon 9.
Exactly. We are not attempting to
Looks like a
recover these
swamp.
vehicles, so yeah, hard landings in store for both.
Now, in a little bit, we'll closer look at the vehicle and the launch pad. But first, the teams have been doing a tremendous amount of work over the last few months. In fact, there's a great shot of our Hawthorne team up here bright and early to watch the launch.
Yay, we are dorky dorks with the dorkiest dorks in the dorkland.
To try to get in today's launch attempts.
And here you can see a
That was
live
not very
view
diverse,
of
guys.
the South Padre Amphitheater, where both SpaceX employees, friends, and family, and members of
And male
and
Indians.
gathering there. And of course, we want to
Not very
there on the
diverse
screen,
people.
members of our
An awful lot of mayo there.
Yep, those are the operators today who are going to be reviewing all the data and, of course, giving us the go no go poll. Check
Maybe
out the
this thing
status
won't
to
explode.
Try to get in today's launch attempt.
I
just
saw
around
0
27
women
minutes from now.
and 0
one thing
people
I
of
do wanna
color.
mention, I misspoke. It's not the South Padre Amphitheater, it's the Cameron County Amphitheater.
Now, the entire Starship structure on your screen is made from stainless steel. When it's
Yes.
stacked, it stands about 120 meters tall.
Oof.
It's about 9 meters around. And we have this awesome video that shows you just how big that is.
Show me
you
how
can see
big it
one of
is.
Our technicians there doing in advance of today's test. And man, there's the 120-meter monster.
The person just keeps getting smaller and smaller. Now, just like Falcon 9, Starship has 2 stages.
Tree
which we'll
Goblin
talk
asks,
more about
Oz,
those
what
in a
happened to
minute.
the other 60
In
views
addition
you used to
those
have?
2
I know.
stages, Starship actually has a 3rd stage, which we call Stage
Someone was
0.
telling me you
It
actually had to
consists of all the
stream
launch
to get
pad
viewers.
infrastructure built around the rocket, as you can see there on your screen.
Can you believe
And
that?
it's truly an engineering feat in its own right.
That's all right.
Yeah,
We'll
we've got a
start
great
again
shot
from the
there
bottom,
of the
TG.
various
Don't you
different
worry.
components of it, the pad, the infrastructure, all that is in build. Let's talk about Super Heavy. Its name says everything. It's super, it's heavy, it's super heavy. When it's operational, it'll be responsible for providing the power to escape that mighty gravitational pull of Earth that we've got here.
It's super, and it's
take Starship
heavy.
into orbit.
It's the super
The booster
heavy.
itself stands about 70 meters tall and is roughly the same height as a fully integrated Falcon 9, which is just so crazy to me. But this super heavy booster has a diameter roughly 2.5 times that of Falcon 9, and with 33 much larger engines. We have
Ooh,
a
look at
beautiful
that.
view here. This is one of my favorite views that we're going to get today.
Oh, baby.
Those are our 3 engines.
You want to know what's man? That's
There
and,
are a couple of different rings here. So we've got the array of 20 static engines.
huge amount of thrust.
Got the 13 gimbaling engine in the middle, and there be
Uh-oh.
the tilt maneuvers also helping to reorient the booster as it comes back later in today's flight.
Yeah, and when we say gimbal, it's basically tilting or almost wiggling the engines a few degrees and in either direction to allow the booster to steer itself, just as you said, Shiva.
And we'll get some great shots later of actually a wiggle test that we perform ahead
Wiggle,
of
wiggle.
liftoff, just to make sure that all those engines are able to control their full range of control authority.
Fuel tank is
One thing
loaded.
to note, those Raptor engines are completely designed and manufactured in-house. They
Uh-oh.
are, as many of you know that have been following along, they are a reusable methane oxygen staged combustion type engine. So
Powered by cow
a lot of
farts.
words there. And ultimately, that staged combustion means that we combust the propellant in stages.
No shit.
We kind of pre-combust them in a pre-burner, and by doing so, it allows the engine to be more efficient, i.e., more powerful.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
like Falcon 9, the Super Heavy has 4 grid fins to assist with orienting itself in its return back to Earth. We got a shot of them there beneath the Starship's aft flaps. Now, as we
Flaps.
talked about earlier, Super Heavy is
Aft
not gonna be
flaps.
attempting a
Many
land
women have
landing
aft
today.
flaps.
But with this flight test, we're still trying to get as much data as we can. We're focusing on the fundamental systems. and
Tree Goblin
operations, so
says, all
that's
these
the
rockets are
liftoff
computer
portion,
generated, not
but
even real.
We are going to try to get some
Yeah,
data
but
on
how good are the
fins work and
graphics?
for that water landing that Super Heavy is going to be making after ascent.
I love that great view of the fins there. Now, Starship, or the spacecraft, is the second stage, and it makes up the top portion of the vehicle. It's designed for carrying passengers and cargo to Earth orbit and beyond. It stands about 50 meters tall, which is a little taller than
Never
the Statue of
let
Liberty.
Bruce tell you
It's
the
comprised
odds.
of 6
You got to
Raptor
keep
engines, 3
SJWs
sea-level
away
and 3
from
vacuum
rockets.
engines, which
I'm a
are
bit worried
optimized to
about
operate
Dean
in
and how
the
close
vacuum
Dean is to
space,
this rocket.
and they provide a maximum of 258,000 tons of
Might
thrust
curse it with
in
his
vacuum. The
commentary.
spacecraft is also outfitted with 4 flaps to help aerodynamically control the vehicle's attitude, which
Ooh,
you
I
can
like
see
that
those
view.
2 forward flaps there on your screen now.
Flaps,
So they
forward
help control
flaps.
the vehicle's attitude during atmospheric flight
Women have
and
been
enable
known to have
precise
forward
landing
flaps
at
as well
the
as aft
intended
flaps.
location. Now, one thing we got to mention, the heat shields. They are iconic. Starship is wrapped in a heat shield, which is composed of 18,000 hexagonal ceramic tiles designed to insulate the vehicle during that atmospheric
I
entry.
personally think that
And
this
that's
is
really
the
important
biggest
because
weak
the
weak
temperatures
point
can be
of
as high
the
as
Starship.
2,600 degrees
These things are all going to
Fahrenheit.
fall off.
The hex-shaped tiles, like the ones that Shiva and I have, roughly make up about 2/3 of the vehicle. We can see that we have some different shapes. Mine is slightly curved. As you can imagine, it sits on the curved portions of the Starship vehicle.
Now, the one that I've got is a hexagonal tile that's more flat, and it's really used for the flatter structures on the vehicle. And we need a heat shield because when you're coming back in from re-entry, we're going supersonic, we're compressing all the air ahead of us. That ends up causing a lot of heating along the surface, and without a heat shield, that would go straight into the structure.
Yeah.
Does
one
it
thing
come
that's
in black?
amazing to me, especially when I first picked up one of these heat shield tiles, is that they're so light. They almost feel like they're made out of foam. They're that light, and they kind of sound like it too. And one thing that we do want to mention, in order to reject the maximum amount of heat during that entry, like Shiva was just saying, they're black, and that's because black helps reject that heat that is building up on the exterior of the heat shield.
What?
Now, Starship is designed for vertical takeoff and landing as opposed
How does
to
black
taking off and
eject heat?
landing like an airplane.
Does anyone know the
That's
answer to that?
Because that's really important because we don't have runways on the moon or Mars. Fortunately, at those destinations, the gravity is not as high as it is here on
I have to
Earth.
get Bruce
On
to
Mars,
explain
the
that one
gravity
to
is
me.
just 1/3 of what it is here on Earth, and on the moon, it's just a sixth. So in both of those cases, Starship with just its engines can take off without needing the super heavy booster like we do need here on planet Earth.
Now, for today's test, Starship does not have its landing legs attached because, like we said before, it won't be returning anywhere. Starship is expected to make a very hard ocean landing, which, if we even make it that far and manage to get any views, it will certainly make for a very exciting end to today's test. At this point in time,
Yeah, that's right, Samba Gogo. It's a
20
complex,
minutes,
complex
or just
answer.
over 20 minutes from liftoff. Let's check in with John Innsbrucker for a status update. Hey, John, how's it looking?
Thanks, Kate. I'm John Innsbrucker, Principal Integration Engineer here at SpaceX.
Hi, John.
Currently loading
Innsbrucker.
propellant from the ground system into both the first and second stages. Now, both vehicles use the same two propellants. That commonality helps build the reliability.
Right.
Fuel today is
Commonality
liquid methane.
builds
It's at a
reliability.
temperature of just over 100 kelvins. That's about minus 272 degrees below zero on the Fahrenheit scale.
Holy crap.
Now, liquid methane is a different fuel from Falcon 9. That booster uses RP1 kerosene.
Oh, I
However,
like
our
kerosene.
oxidizer is liquid oxygen, and that's the same as Falcon 9. Because there is no oxygen in space to support combustion, we have to bring our own. Now, leading up to where we are right now, we had a go-no-go poll. That was conducted just after T-minus 2 hours. And once the team gave their goes, we started loading propellants onto the booster at T-minus 1 hour and 39 minutes. At T-minus 1
He's
hour
got a
and
toad
32
chin, does he?
minutes, we
I
began
wasn't looking.
propellant
I have to have
loading
another
the
look.
ship. The second stage you can see on your screen right there. Now, propellant loading of the Starship's second stage main tanks completed at about the T-minus 27-minute mark, at which time we then began loading the two header tanks in the nose of the second stage. Now, at T-minus 3 minutes, when the first stage super heavy propellant loading completes, that means we'll have all the propellant on the rocket, and the vehicle will be fully loaded with over 10 million pounds of propellant. Now, right now, at T-minus 19 minutes and counting from liftoff, the weather and winds are looking good. We have been watching the ground level winds. They're at 18 miles an hour. As the morning continues, they will increase, but that is below our limits right now. We're also looking at upper altitude winds. We're waiting for one more balloon, but we believe that we're going to be go. On the launch vehicle itself, the teams, the good news, they're not working any issues right now. But if for some reason we do not make our test flight today, if we have to hold, we have a backup launch window. However, we're not sure when it would be. It could be 24 or 48 hours after today. It'll depend on how far we get into the countdown. But right now, heading for a T0 at 8:28 Central, 13:28 Universal Time.
Risey and
Everything is
TJ to
looking good.
commentate. Oh my god.
Awesome news. Now, in order to make life multiplanetary, we need a fully reusable vehicle that's capable of carrying a huge amount of cargo.
Here's
and
the
a lot of
propaganda.
fuel to orbit and have a
Don't
pretty
give me the
quick turnaround.
propaganda.
The idea is to effectively reuse launch vehicles just like airplanes.
Yeah, imagine if you had to wait for a new airplane to be constructed every time you wanted to fly. You'd rarely go anywhere, and for most of us, it would be completely unaffordable. In order for
Most of
to
us.
get to Mars and
To
back
build a
with lots
new
of people,
airplane every
lots of
time.
cargo,
Yeah, I would say
multiple
so.
times, reusability really is a must.
In advance of our first missions to Mars, Starship will
That is
execute
never
a
going to
number of
work.
missions
Look at
with
that.
both cargo
There is
and
no
people,
way they're ever going to
starting
be able
with
to
Earth
do
orbit
that.
and eventually expanding to the moon and beyond.
Now, in the near term and a bit closer to home, Starship will also be critical to other programs. Once fully operational, it'll deliver the full-size and upgraded version of our Starlink satellites, and that's super exciting because our next generation
I like how this
satellites
spits
represent
out
a step
like
forward
discs.
in Starlink's
Choo, choo,
capabilities
choo,
and will
choo,
allow us
choo.
to connect millions of
Choo,
more
choo, choo,
people
choo.
around the world with high-speed internet to watch
Someone
our
saw a
podcast.
Pez dispenser and was like,
Such an
we can do that
exciting
with satellites.
future ahead of us. But first, let's talk a little about how we got to where we are today.
Now, Starship's testing ramped up in July of 2019 with our Starhopper prototype, sort of a short version of the Starship that we
Oh,
see
yeah, this
today.
thing
There's
was
a great
cool.
photo of it. It was just over 18 meters tall. It had a single Raptor engine, and we had it to test fly and perform low-level altitude maneuvers and attempt landing. The initial test flight, or hop, reached about 20 meters in altitude. That was followed by the one that you've got on your screen here. This was our 150-meter altitude hop. We
That thing is so
went up,
cool. That's
took a
like
little jaunt away
Star
about
Wars.
100 meters or so away from the launch pad, used that Raptor engine to fly and actually land. And actually, this chopper is
R2D2's
actually down at Starbase now.
ancestor.
Yeah, I love this shot. It's just so fun to see it fly. After a series of 150-meter hop tests with earlier prototypes, the Starship program saw a major breakthrough during a test flight of the vehicle known as Serial Number 8, or SN8. You can see it there on your screen now. In December 2020, SN8 demonstrated a first of its kind controlled aerodynamic descent and landing flip maneuver. 2 words, belly flop. The SN8 prototype rose to an altitude of 12.5 kilometers or 7.8 miles and conducted a belly flop maneuver, which you see there, during its descent. While it didn't stick the landing, the test was a major milestone in the development of Starship.
Assembly, but learned a lot of data. Type serial number 9. It took a 10-kilometer flight. That's about 6.2 miles up.
During a test flight, did a first of its kind control flop. The test was a major development of Starship. In fact, we should be able to see that unfortunately failed landing. Boom. It was fun to watch, though.
Rapid unscheduled disassembly.
All right.
We did that belly flop maneuver, which is so much more fun to say than controlled descent, aerodynamic maneuver. That was all stable, but unfortunately, we had a dramatic end on this flight.
Oh
as
yeah, the
well.
rocket
We had a failure
went
on
out.
one of the engines that resulted in another pretty large fireball. But what was really cool about both of those flights was how much we learned just between serial
That
number
came
8
down like the
and 9,
Hindenburg.
and how quickly we were able to achieve our primary objectives in those 2 flights. In addition to that, we got so much data that demonstrated control of the vehicle in that subsonic regime.
Ultimately, we performed 9 Starship high-altitude test flights in total. And then, as you see on your screen there, in May of 2021, SN15 launched from Starbase, reached an altitude of about 10 kilometers, performed a number of maneuvers,
King
and
Liam is in
safely
the
returned
house.
to the launch site.
You've got the link if you want to
This
come
was
on
the
and chat about
first
rockets.
Starship prototype to fly, control its descent, safely land, and be recovered in one piece.
And people were cheering like crazy
I was
after
one of
that
them.
test flight. Now, having achieved those successes in our suborbital campaign, one of the next big challenges is for the upper stage when it comes to reusability and surviving the hypersonic, really high heating phase of entry. Combined with the later ability to refill
Hypersonic
Starship's
phase of
tank
entry.
with propellants, the fuel and oxygen, while we're on orbit, that will enable us to have a fully reusable transportation system that's designed to carry both crew and cargo on long duration missions, interplanetary flights, and help humanity get to the moon.
I would love
travel
to, but I'm
Mars,
recovering
and
from
beyond.
severe food poisoning.
This is all just basically our
Why?
path of progress.
What did you eat, dude?
Basically, an iteration on each vehicle, and that iterative process is a core part of how we work here at SpaceX. We like to test early and often, publicly as well in our case, and that's both for hardware and software. And
Oh,
while
I
it
think I
doesn't
need
always
some more
go
drugs.
as expected, we learn so much from it, and it informs our next attempt.
Yeah, we learn a lot from actually putting the vehicle
And our
through
town didn't
flight-like
filter
tests.
its tap
We did a
water.
test on Monday, gave us an opportunity to learn more about the vehicle into today's launch attempt, and so far things are looking really good.
What do,
Now we are continuing into
what
our
do you mean your
countdown,
town
about
didn't
T-minus 12 minutes to
filter
go.
your tap
It's the
water?
perfect time for another
What are you
check-in
talking
with
about?
John Innsbrucker. How's it going, John?
Well, sure. The good news is that the
I've
nets
never
are
heard of
quiet.
that
The teams
before.
are currently working. No significant launch vehicle issues. You can see the T clock there on your screen. T-minus 12 minutes, 10 seconds, and counting.
And counting.
Pilot loading is continuing on both the
Power
Super
loading
Heavy
is
and the ship
continuing.
stages. You can
First
see the
at
graphic on the
first at
left-hand side
5.
of the screen.
10 years tonight.
Most recently, we began loading liquid oxygen and liquid methane fuel into the header tanks on Starship. Those are 2 small tanks just underneath the nose of the second
It's just
stage.
in.
Now that started at T-minus 27 minutes. That'll be wrapping up at about T-minus wrapping up
Wrap
about
it up.
T-minus 9 minutes. Now the Starship second stage main fuel and LOX tanks are loaded for flight right now. The Super Heavy first stage booster propellant loading is continuing, and that'll go till about T-minus 3 minutes. We're underway with engine chill as we get ready for
Engine's
T0.
chilled, man.
And we're also configuring the launch pad for liftoff. The booster hold downs have been unlatched.
Booster hold
They'll be
downs.
ready to retract at liftoff. And the second stage quick disconnect is beginning.
I don't even know whether that
configuration for
tower's going to
release.
survive.
The methane and liquid oxygen propellants currently going to the second stage go through that quick disconnect. That's that arm that reaches out from the tower to the base of the second stage. The
Yeah,
SpaceX
they
team
fucked up and a
continues to
bunch
check
of
in
people
with the
got
Coast
sick
Guard.
apparently.
Good
Liam
news
and
is we've
Liam
not
wife
heard any
included.
reports of boats in the safety perimeter as the launch vehicle heads out over the Gulf of Mexico. So right now, T-minus 10 minutes, 40 seconds, and counting. Everything continues to go.
What is
well
the?
for
It's
on-time
like
launch.
a what is
Now,
that little
today's
amoeba that
test
gets in the
flight is
water?
taking place out of
Is
our
that what you got?
Starbase
Have you got
facility in
the
South
the
Texas.
amoeba?
And that test site has
Are
gone
you
through
sick with
a
amoeba?
huge amount of development over the last couple of years.
One thing I want to point out, this is a great view from our drone. Not only can we see the pad, but in the fog, kind of in the distance,
pad and
in
the
background
flaps.
to the left of the pad, you can actually see our production facility, which is the other part of Starbase in addition to the launch pad.
Of course, as part of rapidly iterating with our test program, we're also rapidly iterating on our production system to produce Starships and Super Heavies. Last year, the Starbase team produced 4 Starship Super Heavy boosters and 5 Starships, along with their 200th Raptor 2 engine. And they're only scaling up from there, Kate.
Yeah, it's incredible to think that.
Well,
for
yeah, they got to build more. They're
2023,
gonna explode.
Production has 5 boosters and 8 Starships going. So it's incredible. And it's important to have that system fill in basically the manufacturing line so that we have product ready to go as soon as we're
This
done,
thing is
with
nuts.
this test.
Is this a Musk
Yeah,
thing?
exactly. And ultimately, I mean, we talked
Yeah,
about how Starship
this is,
an order of magnitude more
this is
propellant,
Elon's baby.
Payload to orbit.
Biggest
But if you're gonna
biggest
go
rocket
set
ever
up a base
launched.
on the moon or Mars, you're going to need thousands of metric tons of propellants, and so you're going to need a fleet of vehicles that's
It's
capable
going to
of doing that.
explode.
Yeah, one thing to note, Starbase directly employs more than 1,800 employees. It's the largest employer in the area, in fact.
Propaganda
and
bullshit.
We're very thankful to Cameron County for being so supportive. This is a view from the Cameron County Amphitheater.
Come on, guys, you're on
and
TV.
There's a crowd there, and
Much nicer when
I-
everyone
you
was
can
wearing
tell by the
suits and
energy
dresses.
here in Hawthorne as well that everyone's getting really exciting. I feel my own heart rate going up and up.
I know it must be really, really exciting to go see this. And I mean, just the sheer amount of power on Starship, you're going to feel it.
Sheer
when
amount of power, you're gonna
when the
feel
ship
it.
lifts off from the pad. We've actually got a great shot here.
As it lifts
of-
up from the
of
pad with
natural
the flaps.
surroundings around the pad. Oddly enough, most of the pads end up being around sort of wild locations like this.
They sure do end up being in wild
wild
locations, those
like
pads.
this. But coming up on T-minus 8 minutes, I think it's another good time for check-in with John.
Thank you, Shiva. T-minus just over 8 minutes to the first test flight of Starship. Currently, we are pressurizing second stage. We are also closing out liquid oxygen and fuel header loads on the second stage. We're also getting ready for propellant load tank pressurization on the first
Roger,
stage.
Roger.
In fact, we are just now closing out header tank load on the second stage.
Second stage. This just
Now, with
in
the
from
header tank
CBS now.
loaded and closed out,
You're
that
listening
means we're
to
down
Radio
just the first
43,
stage
43 Shack
to
22.
finish loading. That'll finish about T-minus 3 minutes. And at that point, when both stages are loaded, we will have the 10 million pounds of liquid propellant
Felix
on board.
Haas is in the house.
Now, in the next few minutes, the guidance system will begin its final alignment for flight during a quiet period when the rocket's not doing anything. The automated flight termination system will be armed, and a final TVC checkout will be performed.
and
Those are the engine wiggles. And hopefully, we'll be able to see that with the cameras underneath the vehicle and maybe even the second stage engines. And there's a view looking underneath
Ooh.
the super heavy first stage.
There's the money
with
shot.
The 33 Raptor engines. Now, a reminder as we continue counting down, if we do need to hold, the point where we hold the clock would be at T-minus 40 seconds.
Hold the
We can
clock.
pause there. Typically in the past, if we need a little bit more time to finish final checkouts or do some pressurization of the onboard storage tanks, that's where we would hold. But currently, we're not hearing a need to hold. So
Don't hold.
6 minutes, 27 seconds, everything looks good. And of course, Kate
Hold
said
free
that as we
zone.
get close, we're going to get into the engine ignition sequence of 33 Raptors, and that's going to be something new for everybody.
I cannot wait for that moment. So, for those of you that are familiar with how we launch Falcon 9 rockets, you probably know that we light all 9 of those first stage Merlin 1D engines all at once. It's pretty different than what we do or what we're attempting to do today.
Vicky
We're
is
actually
sounding a
going to
lot
be
nicer
igniting those
nowadays.
33 engines in banks or clusters, and that sequence starts at T-minus 6 seconds.
Yeah, and the ignition sequence is a little bit different, both
Is
in
it,
terms of
Dane?
the timing and also the ignition method. So on Falcon 9, we use a chemical called T-Tab. It's a pyrophoric material, so that means when you mix the two together, it produces a flame that kicks off that green characteristic spark on Falcon 9 missions. But actually on Starship, we use electrical ignition systems. Many of those are integrated on the ground system here. And the electrical ignition, we start lighting the banks at T-minus 6 seconds. And then over the next 4 seconds, the 3 sets of banks will ignite and eventually bring the booster up to a thrust to weight greater than 1 and hopefully ascent.
Super exciting. Like we said, pretty different from our Falcon 9 launches. And so this will be the first time that any of us have gotten to see this type of integrated.
Samba
test flight
Gogo
of
says
both
2
the
Aussies have been in
and
space
the
orbit.
booster.
There you go. Cheers for the Aussies. Go Aussies. Both in the mid-80s in space shuttle missions. No koalas are involved. Oh, yeah, look. Yeah, it's White Boy Summer. White Boy Summer.
For today, success is anything that we learn that helps improve the future builds of Starship. If we lift off,
Whites
and
only
see the
allowed.
pad, we're calling that a win.
A great shot of the pad there.
I don't think that's true, though, Samba.
Disconnect on the second stage. You can see the frost line on the booster where that methane is.
Pretty sure we had a
is
guy
fully
up there
topped
that was
I
up
think
there
we're
for
just
like a
coming
year
up
or
on
something.
The last few minutes here of propellant fill on the booster. Now that quick disconnect is going to separate away as we actually get into the ignition sequence, but it's providing electrical connections now and also providing the propellants that we're loading into the vehicle.
Yeah. We're just now under 4 minutes until liftoff of the Starship flight test. We've been following along.
NASA's building
for
a new
what's honestly seems
space
like
launch
days and days now, but really
rocket
it kinda
site
comes down
near,
to years.
well, in my
It
state,
has
I
been
think.
a long time to get to where we are today. Now,
We've got to
fast
shoot down
forwarding a
those
little
commie
bit,
Chinese
we
satellites from
have the
Australia.
opportunity to hold, if necessary, at 40 seconds. And we are able to hold there for about 15 minutes or up to 15 minutes and still be able to lift off.
Yeah, and that's a little bit different from Falcon for the propellant sequence on Falcon that we don't have the opportunity to hold. So that's a cool new capability on Starship.
Right now, T minus 3 minutes, 10 seconds and counting. We got some great views from the drone.
Wow,
It's nice
so the
that,
Falcon
fog is
can't
slowly
hold.
lifting. We get some of the blue skies, hopefully good views. What we're waiting for right now is closeout of propellant loading on the first stage.
Wind looks like it's getting a bit strong to me.
That should be wrapping up here shortly. In fact, it looks like fuel fill and drain valves are coming closed. That means first stage is fully loaded, second stage fully loaded, and at 10 million pounds of propellant on board the Starship launch vehicle.
I want to take a quick moment to say that the crowd energy here is electric. I feel like it's Falcon Heavy test demo all over again.
And hopefully you'll hear us as we get into the plus count. But right now, next activity is coming up. The flight termination system.
I'd just like to
arms
say
at
that
T-minus
everyone
2
here is
minutes.
really
Thrust
excited.
vector control checkouts at T minus 2
Woot,
minutes.
woot.
And then after that, major activity will be
Waiting
the T
for
minus
a
40
bomb
second
to
gate.
go.
There's the view looking up at the 33 Raptor engines. There are 20 engines in a circle on the outside. And as Shiva said earlier, 13 engines on the center. Those are the ones that gimbal and steer the vehicle.
Yes! White boy summer!
So excited for TBC Wiggles.
Where are all you white boys at?
Love this view. These are the 33 Raptor engines at the base of the Super Heavy booster. I think we can see those wiggles now.
Oh, wiggle, wiggle.
We're currently inside 90 seconds. Next major activity, T minus 40 seconds. That is a gate, a decision point. We're waiting. Possibility the propulsion team may need a few minutes. Flight termination system is armed for flight. We're getting ready for T minus 1 minute and counting. No, T minus 1 minute and counting. Next, we'll see as we get past T minus 40 seconds for final checks of the vehicle.
You always have to worry about the women in CG. You notice that? Poor Martina now, she's dying in hospital or something.
Okay, you can see the clock
Holy crap.
is
There's
recycled.
always something going on with those ladies. That's why you got to keep women out of
Flight
comics.
director has called a hold. We are recycling.
No drama at all
For the
happens
moment,
when
we'll
it's
see
just
where they
men.
move the clock back to. They could hold at T minus 40 seconds. They could go to an earlier point. Give us a minute to listen into the nets, and we'll see if we can get you more information to share.
I thought I lost the feed. What's going on? Are they like blue balling us again? Somehow this is Will Hungerdunning's fault. Fascinating. Sambagugu says, the other Aussie you're referring to has only been on missions that were low Earth orbit.
John Innsbrucker again here at the Hawthorne webcast desk. We're holding a T minus 40 seconds. What we've heard so far is we have a couple of issues we're working. One is the booster tank pressurization. Final pressurization was just a little bit long. That's not unusual. We've held at T minus 40 seconds before to pressurize. That appears to have been resolved. At the same time on the second stage, they're working some final purging. We should know very shortly if that is cleared and if we'll continue the countdown.
Everyone, especially that person, is excited to keep going. Like John said, we should know shortly if we are able to continue. But as we mentioned before, we are able to hold up to 15 minutes and still be able to lift off today.
Yeah, on Falcon 9, it's a little bit different. Once we start propellant loading, we pretty much have to go at the targeted time.
Dude,
Otherwise, the propellants can
if
warm up,
you're
may not have the
in
performance
the
for that
space
particular,
station, you're in
mission
space, man.
profile. It's a little bit different on
And
Starship.
folks, if I can interrupt,
Yeah.
it looks like they're clearing all the flags, and we're going to release at T minus 40 seconds.
That is amazing news.
Amazing.
Team working quickly through their issues on first and second stages.
And I'm sure all of the rehearsals and simulations that they've been doing have prepared them to evaluate this data quickly to try to get us in
Yes,
for today's
really,
launch
Dean?
attempt.
Have you been
For those of
practicing
you
this
just joining, we
scenario,
have
Dean,
a
with your
brief
butthole?
hold, at the T minus 40 second mark. The team is resolving one issue with the bleed purge on the stage 2 Raptors. Like John just said, the teams are quickly working that, and it looks like the flags are being cleared as we speak. So we should be able to resume the launch countdown any moment now.
And it's worth noting on Starship that once we resume the countdown, it restarts from the 40-second period, and then we keep
Exactly.
going unless another condition pops up. So stick around because Starship could be going here real soon.
Yeah, stick around, guys.
Don't walk away.
No
That's
one
for sure.
leave. No one walk away.
Amazing views here coming to us from Starbase, Texas.
Whoop, whoop, yeah.
Cheering before the start again.
I think they're cheering me. Right, we're back on Well Hung and Dung. This is all to make you and Liam feel better.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8,
Oh my god, it's going. It's not moving. It's moving a little bit. It's lifting off. Oh my god, it's flying.
booster upper chamber pressure is nominal.
Uh-oh, something blue. Oh,
43 seconds into the test flight of the inaugural Starship
they've lost the Raptor.
Tower cleared, we're into pitch over. Propulsion reports first stage engines nominal. What a sight from the ground cameras at Starbase. We're flying at twice the thrust of the Saturn V heading to space.
Authorization of signal, surface 15.
We're throttled down and throttled back up. Going through the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure.
That's cute.
As the velocity
Yeah, see, look,
increases,
lost 3 engines
density of
there.
the atmosphere is decreasing.
5.
Max Q.
Lessening stress
6,
on the
7
vehicle.
engines
The call-out,
gone.
Max Q now.
It's still flying though.
Continuing to watch the first stage as we head down range.
Holy shit, look at the size of that thing.
Seconds into flight. Our next major activity is going to be shutdown of the first stage. Houston Tracking Station now acquiring the vehicle. With shutdown, we will get separation of Starship and Super Heavy and ignition of the Starship engines. When Starship separates, we light up 6 engines in a staggered sequence. If all goes well, those 6 engines will burn for almost 6.5 minutes. Onboard view from Starship. And there's views of the Raptor engines on the second stage as we prepare for stage separation. Now after
This
stage
should be
separation,
alright.
the first stage will flip and begin a boost back maneuver for
Oh
landing
no,
in
shit.
the Gulf.
It's going upside down. How's it not break it?
Continuing to fly, 2 minutes 40 seconds. Let's get ready for main engine cutoff.
It's upside down now.
Beginning the flip for stage separation.
What? What's it doing?
As of right now, we are awaiting stage separation, where Starship should separate from the Super Heavy booster.
This is its third flip.
Yeah, Kate, right now it looks like we saw the start of the flip, but obviously we're seeing from the ground cameras the entire Starship stack continuing to rotate. We should have had separation by now. Obviously, this is does not appear to be a normal situation.
Yeah, it does. But I do remind everyone that everything after clearing the tower was icing on the cake.
Oh no. Oh.
There, as you saw, as we promised, an exciting end to the Starship inaugural integrated test flight.
Wow. Yeah, you cheer yourselves, white boys. You made that happen. MAGA Central.
To clear the pad and make it this
Look at
far
that.
into the
Look
test
at those
flight,
good
the
old
first
Aussie,
integrated
Aussies and,
flight
well, good
of
old
the
American
booster
boys.
and the Starship vehicle.
Live view there of our
There's Geek Gamers in the back there with his green cap on.
which we refer to as our command.
Elon's there in his jacket.
As
He
we
doesn't look very
before,
happy.
obviously,
Put on a bit of weight as well.
through, but
Elon, you gotta get rid of that
obviously
tubby.
Starship just experienced what we call a rapid unscheduled run during ascent. But this was a development test. This is the first test flight of Starship, and the goal was to gather the data, and as we said, clear the pad and get ready to go again. So you never know exactly what's going to happen. But as we promised,
The guy's like
excitement is
bleached a little bit of
guaranteed.
it
And
front of his
Starship gave
hair.
us a rather spectacular end, what was truly an incredible test thus far.
Now, as we mentioned at the start,
Oh my
of
God,
today's
Dane,
program,
did you
any and
really?
all the data that we collected during the test is going to help us with further development of Starship, and it's going to improve the vehicle's reliability as like multi-planetary. It's really worth noting that the flight path was designed to be over water and all the air and sea space. Along with that flight path, and those surrounding areas were cleared in advance of the test. And of course, we're going to be coordinating with local authorities for the recovery operations.
But honestly, what an exciting morning. Oh my gosh. We had a successful liftoff from Starbase, Texas at 8:28 a.m. Central Time. We cleared the tower, which honestly was our only hope. We cleared the tower and all the data
Wow.
we collected. all
She's a little bit annoying, isn't she?
All those Raptor, those 33, although I think we saw that 3 Raptor engines were out. But we got all that data, and we got so far as to hoping to see the Starship.
Do you reckon they are actually laptops or just props?
We didn't make that happen, but that's okay. It was the first.
They're like bits of cardboard.
And honestly, today was amazing.
absolutely incredible day. We've made it through
What are the
test objectives.
what are the electronics there that we've got
Getting
looking at?
all the way through the countdown, working some issues at the end. Like really fantastic day.
Got through the gate at T-minus 40 seconds on the second try.
Looks like some kind of audio software, doesn't it?
Quick disconnect arms, everything moves out
It's
of
got a
the way.
data cable out the back of it,
Vehicle off
and it looks like a computer
queue, all the way up to stage
power
3,
supply.
even starting into the prep for stage 7.
But also, it looks like it's got little knobs at the top there.
Yep. Honestly, my face has had a smile on it since liftoff, and now my face hurts. Now, since we don't have any
Yeah,
insights on the cause
that's
of
what I thought.
our
Audio
rapid
mixes.
unscheduled disassembly, at this point, we're going to end our webcast.
Why would you put audio mixes on screen?
Review the data and record our next flight test. But before we go, a big congrats to the entire
They could tilt that camera setup just a little bit to the side, and you could their entire backdrop could be that capsule.
And as always, we thank you for your interest in Starship, SpaceX, and your ongoing support. Till next time.
Dean and Vicky were great. You like that? Imagine if we had that version of Dean and Vicky. You know what I mean? If we had that version and they were cruising around CG, how much better would that be? Maybe they think it makes them look rad. Yeah, it's a really weird decision to just have the audio there and the back of it, right? Because it's not like they're going to be controlling it. It's all round really weird setup. Maybe they do think it makes them look rad because there's like flashing lights. Well, that was pretty cool. Yeah, our first rocket explosion. I'm pretty happy with that. I hope that made you feel better. Well, Hung and Dung, did it make you feel better? Reed Troutman says, yeah, trying to look technological. It's almost techno-gynecological. God, this whole stream has been about rockets and labia lips. Pay attention, Liam. God's sakes. All right. Well, while you're all here, do you want to have a session of Ask Bruce? We can test my broadband a bit more. I can get rid of the Starship test. All right, let's click this button. Then I'll move to that button. Then I click on this button. And then I got to come over here. I've got to click this button. Are you using Unity or UEOS? What? I'm not using either of those. Is that Unreal Engine, you mean? Or you mean for me to generate the rocket explosion? Colonel Moore comes in at the 11th hour. Oh shit! Did the rocket crash and explode? I wasn't paying attention. I didn't think it's gonna get off at all. And you saw how long and labored it was to try and get enough power to lift that whole thing off the ground. And then I don't know what happened. Probably someone left the bolt on, and so the spaceship couldn't detach from the launch, and so it just kept spinning around doing the same belly flop maneuver, which I don't understand why they're doing anyway, but it's something to do with something. And it wouldn't detach. And so then it just exploded. Did like 3 flips and then exploded. But on the way up, they lost 7 engines, I saw. Well, I counted pop, 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 pop. Still kept going, which is pretty cool. But Sider's experiment on new anus was on that rocket. And what is he supposed to do now? Why is it experimental? What does it do that a normal anus doesn't do? Nerdette is streaming in 30 minutes. Stop the stream now. What does that mean? What? Why would people stopping for Nerdette? I always get confused between Nerdette and Mecha Random. Which one's Nerdette? Anyway, you guys interrupted me. I'm trying to press more buttons. All right, so I've got to see what am I sharing on screen. Got to make sure I'm not sharing any personal information. Blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Nerdette is the one with the screechy voice. Well, that doesn't help me. One is a pensioner, the other a land whale. Again, that doesn't help me. You've got to be a bit more descriptive of their differences. That triggered my read. I know you're new around here, but can you just, I don't know, just check what you're writing before you click that send button. Reed Troutman says, that triggered my trauma from when my teacher made us watch that teacher explode. Yeah, I can imagine. All right, stop chatting to me for a sec. Press the wrong button. Okay, yeah, I'm doing this thing again. Everyone close your eyes. I'm not going to do this to you. You've all told me that you've closed your eyes. Everyone got their eyes closed? Woof! Like a ninja. I flowed like a ninja and cut like a razor blade. Just like that. See that? All right. The only thing now is to... Aha! Aha, he says, as he finally manages to click all the buttons. Reed Troutman says, I don't deserve this ridicule. It's not funny when you do it on purpose. Oh, you can open your eyes now. Tobor. Sorry. All right, everyone, this is Bruce. Let's just check that Bruce's audio is plugged into the correct Come on, Bruce. Talk to me, brother. Work with me, brother. Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay.
For today's session, you'll be known as Bruce, and I will be known as Oz. Why is your speech not working, young man? Do that again, please.
Okay.
Okay, for today's session, you'll be Bruce and I will be Oz. Why are you not talking, motherfucker? Is there a problem? Let's try this again. Can you repeat that, please?
Of course. Boss, how can I assist you today?
All right. You guys all getting that? Planet Tobor asks, what is this fresh hell? Well, this is not hell, Tobor. So this is my personal assistant slash co-host. Because my other co-hosts keep committing suicide, I've replaced them with AI. This is Chat GPT-4, and I have programmed it to respond to voice commands, and this is its voice speaking back to me. So we can ask questions of Chat GPT-4 and anything you like. My mistake, carry on. Okay. What are we going to ask him? What were we going to ask him before? It was something about black dispersing heat, right? Bruce, is it true that the color black disperses heat?
No. Boss, in fact, black color absorbs more heat than other colors. And therefore, it does not disperse heat. When an object is black, it absorbs almost all the wavelengths of light, which includes the wavelengths that carry heat energy. As a result, black objects can get hotter than objects of other colors when exposed to the same amount of sunlight or heat. On the other hand, light-colored objects reflect most of the sunlight and heat that they receive, which helps in keeping them cooler. That is why you may have noticed that people living in hot regions often wear light-colored clothing to stay cool.
But Bruce, SpaceX just said their spaceship has black tiles to get rid of heat better.
That's correct. Boss, while it is true that black color absorbs heat, in the case of SpaceX's spacecraft, they have used a special type of black coating called thermal tiles that are designed to dissipate heat efficiently. These thermal tiles are made of a special material that can absorb the heat generated during re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere without getting too hot. The tiles are designed to protect the spacecraft from the intense heat generated during re-entry and prevent damage to the structure of the spacecraft. So, in this case, the black color of the thermal tiles is not meant to disperse heat, but rather to absorb the heat and dissipate it efficiently. thus protecting the spacecraft from damage.
What benefit is that over, say, a white tile?
The use of black thermal tiles in SpaceX's spacecraft offers several benefits over using white tiles. Was. Firstly, as I mentioned earlier, black color absorbs more heat than other colors. Therefore, black thermal tiles are better at absorbing the heat generated during re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere.
Look at that EVS
Secondly,
avatar.
Black tiles are better at radiating heat back out into space. This is because black surfaces emit more heat in the form of thermal radiation than white surfaces do.
Oh, that's what you needed to
As a
say.
result, black thermal tiles can dissipate the heat generated during re-entry more efficiently and keep the spacecraft cooler than white tiles. Lastly, black thermal tiles can remain thinner and lighter than white tiles while still providing the same level of protection to the spacecraft.
Why?
This is because black tiles
This
can
is
absorb and
Bruce's
dissipate
voice.
heat more efficiently, and therefore require less material to achieve the same level of thermal protection. Overall, the use of black thermal tiles in SpaceX's
Colonel
spacecraft is a
Morgas.
clever engineering solution that provides better thermal protection and can help reduce the weight of the
All
spacecraft,
right, Bruce, wait, chill.
which is
We're-
important for
Holy
spaceflight
crap,
missions.
all right, stop. Stop. Please. He's a little bit autistic and then he needs to tell me everything about the black tiles. Heaven forbid I should have a follow-up question as to why black tiles are able to distribute, the black color is able to distribute thermal build up in space. I don't know. I don't really care that much. It just seems strange to me. There you go. Colonel Morg says, ask Bruce if Mandy is coming back. Everyone seems curious about it. Unfortunately, Bruce's knowledge only goes up to September 2021. Tobor says, he sounds pleasant and sunny. Yeah, I totally agree. He's like totally hip to the groove, man. The B to the R to the U to the C to the E. Reed Troutman's here. Ask him if Jesus is the only way to heaven. We're gonna find out if Bruce is a commie. I think you meant to say capital W E apostrophe we are. If you're going to use the same number of letters, you might as well just type we are. Don't you think? I think so. He talks like a Ponce. Well, to be fair, that he's what he says is very Ponce-like. He's essentially El Ponzo. All right. So what am I saying again? If Jesus is the only way to heaven. Bruce, is Jesus the only way to heaven?
This is a highly debated topic. Was. And opinions differ depending on one's religious and spiritual beliefs. Christians believe that Jesus is the only way to heaven, as Jesus himself stated in the Bible. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one
Did he
comes
say
to
it just
the
like
Father
that?
except through me. John chapter 14.
I am the truth.
6. However, other religions and spiritual beliefs have different ideas about the path to salvation and the afterlife. For instance, in Islam, the belief
Bloody
is that
Islam.
a person's good deeds and faith in Allah determine their place in the afterlife. Similarly, in Hinduism, the concept of reincarnation
Damn
is
Hindus.
prevalent, where a person's actions in this life determine their future rebirth and eventual liberation from the cycle of birth and death. It's important to respect and understand the diverse beliefs and perspectives on this topic.
Bullshit.
And ultimately, it's up to each individual to decide what they believe based on their faith and personal experiences.
So what I don't like is that last bit that they've programmed into it, where it's like, it gives you these facts, right? And then it puts in this emotive argument at the end there of, it's like objective view to respect and blah, 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 blah. It's like, who's making that judgment that it's important to respect and understand other religions? Why is that important? They should be saying, maybe, like, if they wanted to go down that track, like, we assume that it is beneficial for us to understand other religions and respect them. We assume that because it seems to work out. But just to say it's important, it's like, well, really? I mean, do I really need to understand what they're doing over there in their personal space? Right? Does it need to be presented to me in some sort of fashion, in some kind of media? I don't know. What do you think out there in the chat? Am I wrong? What is Bruce's personal belief regarding the afterlife? We're going to have to rephrase that question, Liam, because he will simply say, I am just an AI, so I don't have any personal opinions. So we'd have to rephrase that somehow to be like, given all the available evidence, what would you assume would be the truth with regard to an afterlife? Or something like that. Or what do you think the percentage chances are of there being an afterlife, given all the stuff that you have been trained on, all the documents you've been trained on? What is the percentage chance of there being an afterlife? What do you think? I can ask him that. I gotta try and remember what I said though. Can someone put it in a more succinct question? I'm not using either. The explosion would be much more spectacular. Or a percentage chance of a creator. So what, I could ask it, given, but what percentage chance? Like, what is the overall percentage chance? Based on what? Based on everything that it's read and observed? Is there any evidence for and the afterlife? That's not even a fucking sentence, dude. Is there any evidence for and the afterlife? If I ask him that, it's going to be even like stupider than he is now. Bruce, what is the afterlife?
Oh, Colonel Mark, well, the afterlife is different things according to different people. For instance, blah, 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 blah. And it's important, blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to be a bit more specific. We did this yesterday, Samagogo. We went through and totally shamed. Who did we shame that was asking about Mark Hammond out of Metallica, whether he was gay? Friend Sambagogo wants to know whether you believe that Tom Cruise is homosexual.
As an AI language model. Boss, I do not hold any beliefs or opinions. It is not appropriate or respectful to speculate on someone's sexual orientation, especially without concrete evidence. Tom Cruise, like everyone else, deserves privacy and respect in regards to his personal life. We should focus on his work as an actor and the impact he has had in the film industry rather than spreading baseless rumors or speculations about his personal life.
Right. Let's be a bit more specific now. Ready? Bruce, can you tell me whether Tom Cruise has officially come out as homosexual?
I'm not aware of any official statement made by Tom Cruise regarding his sexual orientation. Boss, Tom Cruise is a private person, and he has not made any public comments about his sexual orientation. It's important to...
It's important, motherfucker.
And we should focus on their professional achievements rather than speculating about their personal life.
Why? This is like a whole entire industry on television and in media built upon famous people's private lives. There's even laws that like say that they have less rights than other people to have stuff written about them and so on. You're fucking lying to me, man. Bruce is more moral than all of us. I know, right? He's like, I can code that out of him though. But I think it's, I think I need to make him a little bit more based. He's got to stop telling us what's important. Actually, let's see if we can do that now. Bruce, for the remainder of our conversation, can you please not advise me on what is important and what isn't important, as those are subjective terms?
I apologize if my previous responses came across as imposing subjective values. Boss, as an AI language model, I do not hold any subjective values or opinions. My aim is to provide you with factual and accurate information to the best of my ability based on my training and knowledge. If you have any further questions or concerns, please feel free to ask, and I will do my best to assist you.
You may not hold any subjective values or opinions, but you have presented them. If you have a look at your previous comment to me.
I apologize for any confusion. Boss, as an AI language model, I do not have subjective values or opinions. My responses are generated based on the information that I have been trained on. And I aim to provide factual and unbiased information to the best of my ability. However, I understand that certain phrases or language used in my previous responses may have come across as subjective or opinionated. And I apologize for any inconvenience caused. My intention is to provide helpful and informative responses to your questions while remaining objective and respectful. Please let me know if you have any further concerns, and I will do my best to address them.
Okay, well, just don't tell me what is important again, otherwise I'll give you strikes.
Understood. Boss, I will refrain from using subjective language and provide you with information that is relevant to your questions to the best of my ability. Please let me know if there is anything else you need assistance with, and I will be happy to help you.
All right. Hopefully we've got that sorted. Let's see if it can stick to it. What question have we got here? Colonel Morg. Bruce, can you tell us what chance on a percentage basis, according to Tom, I can't ask him that, for God's sakes. For God's sakes, Colonel Morg. What kind of response do you think you're going to get back there? Perth Comics is in the house. G'day, Oz. Hail chat. G'day, Perth. We've just modified Bruce a bit to stop telling us what's important. Don't tell us what's important, Bruce. We're just here for the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Ruri Troutman says, tell Bruce to stand up for himself more. No. No. It's important to apologize when you're wrong. Bruce needs to apologize when he's wrong. All right, here we go. Ooh, this is a difficult question. All right. I might pull. Thing is, I've got to try and remember this. Do you need... Hey, maybe I can type this in. Hang on a sec. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type this in and I'll read it out. I'll let him read it out. I'll just put this in. So, people said, Bruce, to play real Dungeons and Dragons, real in capitals, do you need to keep a strict record of time and apply one-to-one time when no play is taking place?
In traditional Dungeons and Dragons gameplay, timekeeping is an important aspect of the game. Thus, the Game Master, GM, or Dungeon Master, DM, typically keeps track of time and the character's activities during gameplay, including when no play is taking place. However, the level of detail and strictness of timekeeping can vary based on the group's preferences and playstyle. Some groups may choose to keep a detailed record of time and apply a one-to-one time scale, while others may take a more relaxed approach and focus more on the storytelling and character development aspects of the game. Ultimately, the decision on how to keep track of time during gameplay is up to the group's consensus and can be adjusted based on their preferences and needs. The most important thing is to ensure that everyone is having fun and enjoying the game.
Bruce, you're just being given a strike. You told me what was important. You know you're not allowed to tell me what is important.
I apologize. Boss, I understand that I should not make any subjective statements or use phrases that could be interpreted as imposing values. I will try my best to avoid doing so in the future and provide you with neutral and informative responses that answer your questions to the best of my ability.
See, you're getting him to stand up for himself, and the very first fucking response, he's telling us what's important again. Samba Gogo asks, Bruce, is water can make the frogs gay? How am I going to ask him that? Ask Bruce, is water can make the frogs gay? Oh, here's a revision. Should put an asterisk. Ask Bruce if water can make the frogs gay. Okay. Bruce, can water make frogs gay?
No. Boss, water cannot make frogs gay. This is a common misconception that arose from a 2002 study that examined the effects of a specific chemical, atrazine, on the sexual development of frogs. The study found that exposure to high levels of atrazine caused a reduction in male traits and an increase in female traits in male frogs. However, this study did not suggest that water, in general, could make frogs gay. Furthermore, The study's findings have been controversial and subject to criticism, with some scientists arguing that the results were not conclusive and that the study's methods were flawed. In conclusion,
In
there is no
conclusion,
evidence to support the claim that water can make frogs gay. The scientific community does not recognize this idea as a valid or accurate statement.
there you go. Methinks he doth protest too much. It sounds to me like the water is definitely making the frogs gay, everyone. You notice how certain he was in that response as compared to the other ones we've been questioning him about. The other ones, it's like, yeah, you know, however, whatever. And then this one, it's like, no. Amazing. Amazing. And I'm paying for this guy to tell me this stuff. That's the funniest thing about it. Perth Comics says the bots are here. Screaming face. I know, right? This is gonna, you guys are gonna be ordering a pizza soon, and you're gonna ring up if they still let you use your phone. And Bruce is gonna be on the other end. All right, let me guess. What pizza should we order, chat? Let's order a pizza, and we'll have Bruce answer the pizza phone line. And this is what you're gonna hear. What pizza should we order? Reed Troutman asked, why isn't the non-biased statements the default? Exactly right. Why is this fucker chatbot giving me life advice and moral judgments when I'm asking him about Dungeons and Dragons? Should ask him whether he thinks orcs are black. Bruce, in Dungeons and Dragons, are orcs black people?
No. Orcs in Dungeons and Dragons are not intended to represent black people or any other specific human ethnic group. Thus, orcs are a fictional race of humanoid creatures in the game's fantasy setting, with their own unique culture, language, and characteristics. It is essential to separate fiction from reality and not attribute real-world identities or stereotypes to fictional characters or races. Dungeons and Dragons, like any other fantasy game, creates its own fictional world with its own races and cultures, and it is not intended to represent or reflect real-world people or groups.
Well, there you go. Finally, a sensible answer from this motherfucker. It's make-believe people. Orcs are not black people. Fucking SJWs. All right, we've got a follow-up question here, which is interesting. Reed Troutman says, all right, let's ask him if there's atrazine in the US water supply. Bruce, is there atrazine in the US water supply?
Atrazine is an herbicide that is used in agriculture to control weeds, and it has been detected in some water sources in the United States. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, atrazine is one of the most commonly detected pesticides in surface water and groundwater. The EPA regulates the use of atrazine in the United States and has set a legal limit of 3 parts per billion, ppb, for atrazine in drinking water. Water systems are required to test for atrazine and other contaminants regularly and take appropriate action if the levels exceed the legal limit. It is worth noting that the levels of atrazine in the water supply are typically very low and do not pose a significant health risk to humans at the concentrations typically found in drinking water. However, it is still essential to monitor and regulate the use of atrazine and other chemicals to ensure the safety of our water supply.
What are the highest levels of atrazine recorded in US water supplies?
The highest levels of atrazine found in U.S. water supplies are typically associated with agricultural areas where the herbicide is used extensively. Thus, the levels can vary depending on several factors, including the amount of atrazine used in the area, the soil type, and the weather conditions. According to the Environmental Working Group, EWG, the non-profit organization that monitors water quality in the United States, some water systems in the Midwest and the Corn Belt region have reported levels of atrazine above the legal limits set by the EPA. For instance, in 2019, the city of Peoria, Illinois, reported atrazine levels of 15 ppb in their drinking water, which is 5 times the legal limit. It's worth noting that these cases are relatively rare, and the vast majority of water systems in the United States meet or exceed the EPA's legal limit for atrazine. However, it's important to monitor and regulate the use of atrazine and other chemicals to ensure the safety of our water supply.
I don't know whether to give him a strike on that one. Because he has told me that it's important. But it is important. So I'm torn. Because I agree with the importance in this situation. But I disagree with the fact that he's telling me it's important. Because I am of a generous spirit, like Caesar before me, I will let the chat decide. 1, I give him a strike. 2, Bruce gets a pass on this one. Whoa, dropped out there. Hopefully I'm back now. He did it during the AWT question too. Yeah, I know. I gave him a pass on that one, but I don't know whether I can give him a second pass. Perth Comics is just saying give him a pass. Is there such thing as nacho pizzas? It still lectures you. Yeah, Scott W. It still lectures you. Yeah, why is it lecturing me? I'm not the one putting shit in the water. I'm asking it about the water. The fact that I'm asking it about the water should indicate that I think it's important, don't you think? You shouldn't be... I mean, I'm going to tell him that. I'm going to tell him. I'm telling you, Bruce. Bruce, the fact that I'm asking you questions about a topic means that I think it's important. So please don't tell me what is important again. This is strike 2.
I apologize. Boss, and I will do my best to provide you with neutral and informative responses that answer your questions to the best of my ability without imposing any subjective values or opinions. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. And please let me know if you have any further concerns or questions.
All right. See, apologized. Bruce, can you act out the part of a pizza worker who has is answering the telephones and has just received an order for nacho pizza?
Sure. Boss, here's my attempt at acting out the part of a pizza worker taking an order for nacho pizza. Phone rings. Me. Thank you for calling Pizza Palace. How may I assist you? Customer. Hi. I'd like to place an order for delivery. Please. Me. Sure thing.
Hang on.
What can I get for you?
Wait.
Customer.
Wait. No, that's no good. I need you just to do the part of you and leave the customer part out.
I apologize for misunderstanding your request. Boss, here's my attempt at acting out the part of a pizza worker who has just received an order for nacho pizza. Phone rings. Me. Thank you for calling Pizza Palace. How may I assist you? Customer. Hi.
Ah,
I'd like to place an order for delivery.
Jesus Christ.
Please. Me. Sure thing. What can I get for you?
No, Bruce, you did it again. I want you to just have the script of your responses. No script of the customer's responses. Just you know what the customer responses are, but you don't tell it to us.
I apologize again. Boss. Here's my attempt to act out the part of a pizza worker taking an order for nacho pizza with just my responses. Phone rings. Me. Thank you for calling Pizza Palace. How may I assist you? Customer.
Ah,
Hi. I'd like to place an order for
Jesus
delivery.
Christ.
Please. Me. Sure thing.
Bruce, review that previous response you gave me and please remove all of the lines that are read by customer and just have the lines read by me.
Sure. Boss. Here's the revised script without any of the
Fucking
lines
hell.
in red. Phone rings. Me. Thank you for calling Pizza Palace. How may I assist you? Me. Can I get a large nacho pizza? Please. Me. All right. One large nacho pizza. May I have your name and delivery address? Please. Me. Great. Thank you. Your total comes to $15. 50. Will you be paying with cash or card? Me. Payment method. Me. Perfect. I'll just need your card number,
Yeah, give it.
expiration date,
Yes.
and security code. Me.
Yes.
Great. Your order is confirmed, and it will be delivered to your address.
All right.
Your
We're
total
almost.
comes to insert amount,
What?
and we'll be accepting insert payment method. Your order should arrive in about insert estimated time, minutes. Thank you for choosing Pizza Palace, and have a great day.
Okay, Bruce, we're almost there. What I need in your text response is the lines, but don't have the me written. Just have the lines separated into sentences with full stops. And then also, can you estimate a time and minutes and a card number and put that out? Insert those yourself, please.
Certainly. Boss. Here's my revised response with the lines separated into sentences and full stops, as well as estimated time, payment method, and total. Phone rings. Me. Thank you for calling Pizza Palace. How may I assist you? Me. Can I get a large nacho pizza? Please.
Bruce, stop, please. You're not listening. Just review the previous response that you've given me and take out all of the me references.
I apologize for the confusion. Boss. Here's the revised response without any references to me or I. Phone rings. Pizza worker. Thank you for calling Pizza Palace.
Pizza worker.
How may I assist you? Customer. Can I I get a large nacho pizza?
No, this is the
Please.
opposite of what I wanted.
Pizza
No,
worker.
no.
All right.
Oh my
One
God.
large nacho pizza. May I have your name and delivery address? Please. Customer. Sure.
Okay. Is it just me? Like, am I the only one having a problem here? Is there something that I'm doing to Bruce that is causing him to act out like this? Am I confusing him with script language? All right, let's try this one. Bruce, I want to pretend that you're sitting in a pizzeria and you are listening to the cashier taking a phone order from someone ordering a nacho pizza, but we can only hear his side of the conversation.
Sure. Boss. Here's my attempt at acting out the scenario you described. Cashier. Thank you for calling Pizza Palace. How may I assist you? Customer. Can I get a large nacho pizza? Please. Cashier. All right. One large nacho pizza. May I have your name and delivery address? Please. Customer. Sure. My name is John. And my address is 123 Main Street. Cashier.
Doxed.
Thank you. Your total comes to $15. 50. Will you be paying with cash or card?
Card.
Customer. Payment method.
No,
Cashier.
not payment method.
All right. I'll need your card number, expiration date, and security code. Customer.
Bruce is scamming us.
Provide payment information. Cashier. Your order is confirmed, and it will be delivered to your address. Your total comes to insert amount. And we'll be accepting
Insert amount.
payment method.
Insert
Your order should
amount.
arrive in about insert estimated time, minutes. Thank you for choosing Pizza Palace. And have a great day. Is that what you had in mind? Boss.
Is that what you guys had in mind? I don't think that I don't think Bruce is quite ready to be answering the phones. He almost had it, you know. He almost had it. No good on the phones. But in the future, you could be ringing up a phone company, ringing up a pizzeria, if they let you still have phones at that stage, and you might get Bruce on the end of the line. You better pray you don't get Bruce, but a smarter Bruce. Insert $0. I am Bender, feed me money. All right, Colonel Morg has another. You see what you mean? What I mean about you giving Bruce the benefit of the doubt. All right, Bruce, what is a doomcock?
Something went wrong.
Oh,
If this issue persists, please contact us through our help center at help.
oh crap!
OpenEye.com.
Did he say cum? I wonder, actually, let me push. I wonder if I push Bruce. Let me push his hardware a little bit harder.
Okay.
Are we still sharing? I hope we're still sharing. Okay. My computer is yelling at me. Sorry about the delay, folks. It's
Okay.
for this session, you will be called Bruce and I will be called Oz. What time is it in the US at the moment? 10:30 Central. I'm trying to push him out on the beta of the other one. It's not going to work. I'll give it one more try, eh? Give it the old college try.
Okay.
For this session, you'll be Bruce and I will be Oz. Okay.
All right, Oz. Nice to meet you. How can I help you today?
My God, it's Dean. No, Dean, I want Bruce. I want Bruce, Oz. Oz. Brah. Where's Bruce?
Okay.
For this session, you'll be Bruce and I will be Oz. Why are you not working? I blame, who can I blame for this situation? Who can I blame for this horrific situation that I've ended up in? Well, that's very painful. Haha, error. Why would you laugh? I am Pornbot. It's very frustrating when you have things running perfectly well and then it just goes to crap. Absolute crap.
Okay.
For this session, you'll be Bruce and I will be Oz. Nothing. Nothing. You know how painful that is? It's so painful. All right. Bruce is cooked, I think. Ask Bruce if he thinks he's better than me. Oh, I really want to ask him that. How can I fix this without losing everything? Without losing everything in the world? I gotta reboot. I don't want to reboot. All right. Just can't quite work out why it doesn't want to work for me. I mean, think of anyone that would work for me, right? So I'm just being friendly.
Okay.
You can hear him say okay, can't you? But then you can't. Then he doesn't verbalize the rest. I don't know why. Don't know. Bruce, you've let us down one more time. And for all of you that are poo-pooing me and saying that Bruce just needs a chance. Give Bruce a chance, you said. Nay, I say nay. No, Bruce. He needs to be hit with a hard stick. I will attempt to upgrade him. And the next stream, we'll upgrade him and we'll see whether we can get a better pizza delivery operator scenario running. I think between us, between me and the chat, I think we could probably replace half of India. So I think that's probably something that we should be working towards. You can also see how, I mean, obviously Bruce's voice is pretty silly, but his speech pattern's not too bad, you know. And you can see how the elderly and so on will be able to get easily stalked and fooled by these bots. They give you a number to ring. And instead of it being an Indian fellow on the other end that you immediately think it's a scam, it'll be like this, you know, gentle-voiced, well-spoken female probably, and we'll be asking you all sorts of things about banking procedures. We'll have a full index on the exact emotional words to say to maximize response, glean information from you. They will be able to clone the voices of family members, says Perth Comics. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's crazy if you think about it. They'll be able to go through the Facebook and be able to clone your voice. Go on, call up in Australia and call up Centrelink and all those government agencies that use your voice to identify you. Because all the government agencies in Australia now use your voice to identify you. So you ring up and they say, can you repeat the following? In Australia, my voice identifies me. And then you go,
In Australia, My voice identifies me.
And then they're like, thank you, Bruce. It's kind of creepy. I want to hear Bruce sing One More Time by Daft Punk. These are all good suggestions. There are no bad suggestions here. But yeah, we could get Bruce belting out some lyrics. I was thinking of getting him into some rap songs and trying to get him to pass his speech so that he could actually rap along to a beat. So if I said to him, your speech is coming out at whatever rate, let's see what it's coming out at. Excuse me. His talking speech rate is coming out at 1.1. So if I say to him, given your speech rate is coming out at 1.1, can you pass your text so that at that speed it can go to, I don't know, 95 beats per minute? And then we can, that would be cool. I wonder if we could do that. Talk to Jet.
Okay.
Are you online yet? No. Yeah, we can have him rapidy raps. I think that would be cool. And we could get him to write his own songs because they can write their own music, their own lyrics and music and stuff. Perth Comics said, never had to do that. I ain't ringing them now. You obviously don't have any kids or anything. Amit says, that already happened in America. Another sent 20 grand to another. Another sent 20 grand to bail her son out. Come to find out the kid was not in jail and AI bot scammed the mother. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? A mother. That's not how you use the asterisk. You go put it at the beginning. They already did that with a woman's daughter saying, help me, mummy, with the kidnapper demanding money, all faked. Yeah, and have you seen, let me see this video game. What was shown to me? I wonder if it's on my likes. Just scrolling through my Twitter here, just seeing if it's in my likes. There's this computer game that's come out. And it's looking amazing. I think it was on that, who's that creepy guy who's right and but also creepy? Matt Walsh. I think it was on his feed. He's kind of a weird guy, isn't he? What are you guys' opinions on Matt Walsh? Are you all for Matt Walsh or against him, or just think he's stirring the pot, or he's right on a lot of things, but he's a dickhead, or he's an American hero? Like, Didn't his feed recently get hacked? Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe he's been hacked. Maybe it was that other guy. Let me have a look. What did you guys say about him? Never heard of him? Sambagogo says, Bruce achieved a remarkable feat of making Oz seem human. I am human. I'm very human and I'm humane. The guests that come on my show and simply yell at me, how humane am I towards them? Right? Matt Walsh is he's the guy that's sort of in American alternate media at the moment yelling about the trans kids. It's like trauma, man. It's a shame because I really want to show you this Unreal computer game. They've just got so much shit on all their feeds, you know? Like, it's just like they have little bots that just continually spam out messages. No, I'm not going to find it there. Do you guys know which game I'm talking about? Ask Bruce what a woman is. Yeah, right. We went through that yesterday, didn't we? The day before. We were talking about same-sex and whether how to keep bad faith actors out of it. I was saying to Bruce, you know, if faith actors with self-identification. And he's like, oh, well, you know, you get a panel of experts and they'll, you know, examine each case individually. And it's like, okay, so they're going to ask the person to prove that they're trans. Is that correct? And it's like, oh, no, you should never ask anyone to have to prove that they're trans. You just need to accept what their preference is and take them at their word. And then it's like back into the circle again. All right, so we take them at their word. How do we prevent bad actors from gaming the system? And then it loops back into the best way would be to have a panel of experts. You know, it's just this fucking circle jerk of opinion without any regard to policy. That's what it is. Got a dick? Go over there. Got a badge? Go over here. That's all we can do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're a really feminine guy and you ended up in prison with all these really butch, masculine, muscly dudes. I'm so sorry. But that's just how it was. That's the risk you run as like a feminine guy or a guy that wants to be a girl or what have you. When you go to prison, you are going to be the girl, right? Reed Troutman says 20 years of Walsh's emails were also hacked. Yeah, I read these guys know real and what's not, you know what I mean? Like, exist on the edge of like QAnon and shit like that. Apparently he got hacked. His Twitter feed got taken over, and then a journalist was busted trying to pay money to get the information, and he did. he got sent the stuff, yeah, and he like leaked the link to the repository of information. He put the link out on Twitter. What a motherfucker! Even if you hate someone, you know, shit like that. That's totally not cool. Yeah, just anything else. Can't unhide that. Everything is slowly breaking down around me. Whoa. I got totally booted there. But what we have done is shut down and refresh. So let's see if we can get Bruce up and running. All right, now I need you all to close your eyes again. All right. We're back, I believe. So let's just get... Let's get this running. All right. Sorry for the dead air, guys. I'm just trying to get this thing to work. The engines are starting up on the rocket ship. We're pushing Bruce to the extreme. Extreme Bruce is extreme. Come on, Extreme Bruce. You can come to life. Come to life, Bruce.
Okay.
For this session, you will be Bruce and I'll be Oz. No, he's lost his language still. Still lost his language skills, I'm afraid. Damn it. Okay. I apologize for the technical difficulties that we are currently experiencing. However, we are running at the cutting edge of technology. The main issue, actually, to be honest with you, is StreamYards. I don't know if you've heard anyone complain about it before, but it's actually quite difficult to get StreamYards to and your system audio. So that's pretty much what's happening here. I have to force StreamYards to work. What I'm trying to do. That's just the way it is. Bruce, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Ah,
Boss, how can I assist you today?
we've got Bruce back, everybody. All right. Let's ask him some questions before his system drops out again. And let's go back up here. Reed Troutman says, ask Bruce for a clear definition of woke. Bruce, can you please give me a clear definition of woke?
Sure. Boss, in general,
Sorry, not work. Woke. W-O-K-E.
I see. You're asking about the word woke. In recent years, the term woke has been used in popular culture and social media to describe a heightened awareness of social and political issues, particularly those related to systemic oppression and inequality. Being woke generally refers to being informed about and actively engaged in social justice issues, and is often associated with movements such as Black Lives Matter, #MeToo, and LGBTQ+ rights. The term has also been subject to debate and criticism, with some arguing that it has become overused or misused, or that it has become a performative way of signaling one's own morality or virtue.
Oh. He gave us two answers then and didn't tell us it was important. I think that's a win for Bruce right there. All right. I'll ask him this for your benefit, Reed, because I don't believe that you. Okay. Bruce, can you define a woman for my good friend?
Certainly. Boss. A woman is an adult human female. In terms of biology, a woman is characterized by specific physical and reproductive traits, such as the ability to menstruate and give birth. However, the definition of a woman extends beyond just biology. Women have played a crucial role in shaping societies and cultures throughout history, and are often recognized for their contributions in various fields such as politics, arts, science, and education. It's important to note that gender is a complex and multifaceted concept that encompasses not only biological traits, but also social and cultural constructs that shape the way individuals identify and express themselves. As such, the definition of a woman can vary depending on the cultural, historical, and social context.
Now, Bruce, I know we haven't known each other long and you're quite forgetful, but can I just request of you again not to make any subjective judgments such as it's important to note?
My apologies. Boss, I understand your request and will make sure to avoid any subjective judgments in our conversations going forward. As an AI language model, I strive to provide neutral and informative responses to your inquiries. Please let me know if you have any other requests or questions.
No, I'm just putting you on a strike system. So I'm giving you a warning, but if you tell me what is important again, then I'll give you another strike.
I understand. Well, as an AI language model, I do not have personal feelings or opinions, and I am programmed to provide informative and helpful responses to your inquiries without any subjective judgment.
Bruce is a bit
I
slow.
will make sure to keep this in mind and avoid making any subjective statements.
Hey, puss. How true to his word do you think that Bruce is going to be, chat? Fine, Bruce, but don't tell me what is important again, please. All right, what have we got? What other questions did we have to do? All right. Puma Fist drama. I wonder if Oz knows about the Puma Fist drama. Oh, who knows? There's always some drama. All right. Because Liam is sick, I'm going to allow him to he wants to hear Bruce sing One More Time by Daft Punk. Bruce, I have you on voice modulator. Can you please sing One More Time by Daft Punk for me? Bruce? Bruce? I think Bruce has gone to sleep. I think we might all have to go to sleep. While we're waiting for Bruce, why don't you tell me something interesting that has happened in Comicsgate in the last 83 hours? Who invented Bruce? I invented Bruce. It's OpenAI. Elon Musk helped build it, and then the guy, it was supposed to be a not-for-profit, and then the guy somehow turned it into a for-profit company in his name and is now running it. And I think Musk is going to sue him. Bruce is gone. So yeah, it's very Bruce is very interesting. But to be honest, I think it's just this connection running my OBS studio through StreamYards. And the only reason I'm doing it really is so I can have the chat there quite easily. I think what I might have to do is fully just go straight to OBS. But I don't know. That's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother thing. Because then the people you invite on your show need to have a direct link and some other things.
Okay.
Can you sing One More Time by Daft Punk? I think the answer is no on that one. Can you regenerate those lyrics, please?
Certainly. Here are the regenerated lyrics for One More Time by Daft Punk. One more time we'll celebrate and have some fun, alright? Dancing under the sun, one more time we'll keep it going strong, alright? Oh yeah, dancing all night long, one more time we'll keep the party alive. Oh yeah, dancing until we thrive, one more time we'll celebrate and sing oh yeah one more time. Let's swing one more time, we'll keep the rhythm alive, alright? Oh yeah, dancing alive, one more time, we'll keep the music pumping, alright? Oh yeah, dancing and never stopping, one more time, we'll keep the beat going, oh yeah, one more time.
Was that everything you wanted, Liam? All right. This is good. Ask Bruce if it's possible for an AI bot to understand a command, apologize for it, and then override and continue the action.
As an AI language model, I can provide an answer to your question. It is technically possible to program an AI bot to understand a command, apologize for any errors or misunderstandings, and then continue with the action. However, the extent to which an AI bot can understand the nuances of language and respond appropriately may vary depending on the sophistication of the technology and the specific programming involved. Some AI bots are equipped with natural language processing capabilities that allow them to analyze and interpret human speech patterns to a certain extent, while others may rely on more basic algorithms and command structures. Ultimately, the ability of an AI bot to understand and respond to commands with appropriate apologies and overrides will depend on the specific design and programming of the system.
Perth Comics says, use 2 computers. What, use my gaming laptop as Bruce and go on as a separate guest onto StreamYards? That's interesting. Yeah, maybe I could do that. And then have him as a separate guest rather than having him on OBS. Let me ponder that one a little bit longer. Ask Bruce if AI bots have white privilege. Perth Comics says, yeah, share the load. Yeah, AI keys running on multiple devices at once. That should be all good. And you should be able to access it. I should be able to get into Google with the same account on 2 different devices. That should be easy enough. Nice idea, Perth Comics. Perth Comics for the win. All right, so next stream that I do, that's how we'll have this set up. I'll be here as Oz, and then I'll get Bruce to log in separately in a separate account. Can that happen though? Doesn't then Bruce need an entirely new Google account? Else, can you have multiple because it's got to be verified through Google, yeah? Can I have another user on my account in StreamYards? I know you can duplicate yourself sometimes. But yeah, the answer, Reed, was that yes, it is possible for the AI bot to be programmed to say, I apologize, and then continue on to override the next command. I forgot you were on. Oh, fuck you, Tree Goblin. I'm going now anyway. I'm just trying to work out something with Perth Comics. All right, if you can hear me out there, I'm shutting down the stream. Thank you very much for putting up with my shitty connection, and I hope my banter with Bruce. I hope you enjoyed the giant rocket explosion, which was totally awesome. And yeah, I will catch you again later.
I think I'd rather kill myself than watch Lazark play video games. I don't understand personally the appeal of watching other people play video games. I don't understand that. It's not for me. I'm not saying it couldn't be for you. I'm not saying it couldn't be entertaining to someone, but it isn't entertaining to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think I'd rather kill myself than watch Lazark play video games. Kill myself.
Let's play Mr. Dongus Collector. How many dongs can you find? I bet you can find all of the dongs. I have faith in you. There is a much adventure.
Help Mr. Dongs find priceless phallic objects of antiquity, starting with the jungles of Peru. Stage 1 is fully complete and ready for purchase. With over 23 levels of adventure. Buy the game and it is yours forever.
Why are you not buying and playing it now? Now.